Hi, this is Eric Bixa with Advanced Nutrients and our 11th installment of Hydroponic Secrets. Thanks for joining me. Today I'd like to talk to you about the most popular kind of additive indoor growers use to get bigger yields and better harvests out of their crop. And that's the use of organic and synthetic bloom boosters. We're going to talk about how these work and what sets them apart, because there are a lot of choices out there for the grower these days. Most bloom boosters are intended for the later stages of flowering. Usually you start to apply bloom boosters anywhere from the second to third weekend after initiating the flowering cycle. From there, you might use them all the way up till the week before flushing for harvest, or you may switch to a slightly different bloom booster to finish with at the ripening stage. Now, the formulation of bloom boosters can range from really simple and cheap to very complex and usually more effective. Some of the bloom boosters out there are very simple. They contain monopotassium phosphate, magnesium sulfate, and sometimes the addition of thiamine hydrochloride, which is B1. This is very basic. It's better than nothing, but you can do a lot better than that, without spending a lot more money too, by the way. Some growers have been misled through archaic growing information that's really based more for outdoor soil conditions rather than the types of conditions we create indoors as intensive growers, particularly under artificial lighting. A lot of growers and conventional bloom fortifiers are of the school of thought that just high phosphorus is the key to increasing the effectiveness and productivity of reproductive plants. This isn't entirely true. Well, modern research and using modern growing practices in greenhouse environments has demonstrated that it's actually a very high rate of potassium in the mid to late flowering stage that has the greatest impact on the overall yield, quality, and density of flowers and fruits. The increased levels of potassium change the ionic charge around the roots. Potassium is positively charged, and plants can use it and be surrounded by it in very high levels. It's very difficult to reach toxicity levels with potassium. So increasing potassium has an ionic effect, as well as delivering increased levels of potassium into the plant itself. Now, Advanced Nutrients Big Bud increases levels of phosphorus and really spikes up your potassium. The product formulation is a 0, 10, 40 NPK, that's for the dry version. There's also a liquid formulation that's well suited to aeroponic systems, or if you're worried about any clogging, and it's the same kind of ratio, but as a liquid, a slightly lower concentration at a 0.14. Advanced Nutrients Big Bud goes a step further than conventional bloom fortifiers. There is a full spectrum, dialed in arrangement of amino acids contained in the formulation that help to deliver the phosphorus and potassium into the plant. And they also help to transport it throughout the plant to rapidly developing and swelling flowers and fruits. Amino acids are the building blocks of life. Advanced Nutrients Big Bud, both the powdered and liquid formulation, contain one of the most bioactive amino acids in nature, and that's lysine. Don't underestimate the importance of this vital amino acid, especially with its relationship to phosphorus and potassium, in increasing the yield and quality of your favorite crop. Start using Big Bud about 1 week after you've initiated the flowering cycle. The average use is 0.3 grams per liter. And you can use a little less at the start of the bloom cycle, the first week after flowering is initiated, and have your highest concentration of the product at the peak portion of flowering, let's say week 3 or 4 in a 7 or 8 week cropping schedule. Use Big Bud up until about 3 weeks before your intended harvest date. For the final 2 weeks before you flush, switch to Advanced Nutrients Overdrive. This will keep the plant very vigorous and youthful in those last critical couple of weeks when your plant is making the biggest weight gains. So give Big Bud a try. Like all Advanced Nutrients, it's backed by their 100% satisfaction guarantee. So for other tips and tricks from industry professionals such as myself, please visit the link at the bottom of your screen. That's www.advancednutrients.com/newsletter. To the email of your choice, you can be delivered some really great tips and tricks that are going to give you bigger and better yields. This is Eric Bixa with Advanced Nutrients with our 11th episode of Hydroponic Secrets. Thanks for joining me, and see you next time.